Loaded bases, that's my motivation. Feeling lucky, we should go to Vegas. 2018, motor transportation. Got me feeling over anxious like a home invasion.
Yeah, for sure. Because, I've been hearing that often is that a lot of people don't know where to go, where to search. But also, if you go through your insurance, if you have insurance and they're taking forever, you can find the therapist yourself, connect to your insurance, and then move on from there. As far as I know you talked about, why are parents not addressing trauma? I noticed that when I did a lot of speeches, a lot of parents don't know how to address trauma with their kids. They don't even know where to start. They don't even know that they're also going through their own trauma that's impacting their kids. So a lot of people aren't even aware of what the word trauma is, because it sounds very harsh and it sounds like unbearable, and it sounds like you can't even get out of it. So I think it's starting with the question of how do we address it, and then no longer focusing on the why anymore. It's more like how do we address it?
So do you think, like you said, the word trauma is a traumatic word. Like, do you think if we found a more inviting word, people would be more inclined to actually express and find the help they need in situations? Do you think the word trauma kind of shines them off of it?
Yeah, because that's just in our nature. We don't like to address problems. We don't like to address issues because just to look at society and how we navigate society in the world, we do not have the time to sit and dwell. So the word trauma is almost feeling like I have to face what's right in front of me, or what I've been putting off, or what I've been basically acting like does not exist, which is basically disassociating. And just an example of the term disassociating, it could be someone that's been sexually abused, and while they're in that act, because it's been happening to that individual for so long, they can basically create this whole thing in their mind. Well, while the act is happening, they're somewhere else mentally. So that's disassociation. And a lot of times we disassociate from our trauma because we want to say, oh, it's all good. That's all right. It's all good. I moved from it. But you really didn't, because it's still in your body, and it's still the way you navigate the world because of that altered experience.
Okay, so and also, like, parents disassociate themselves from their child's trauma to kind of a way to make it not real in their head, right? Like, kind of like, we're gonna dance around this, or we're gonna, okay, I hear what you said, and I'm not taking it serious, but I feel if we don't speak on it or address it like that, it's kind of like, okay, it'll go away. It didn't happen, type of ordeal. Not it didn't happen, but it'll go away.
That's a great example of how we disassociate, because we don't want to believe that our children are being harmed. We don't want to believe that we feel like if we don't address it, our children will get stronger.
Gotcha.
We do. So that's not a healthy way of doing it. As we all know, it's not, because then that child grows up not addressing things and not feeling as if anyone is safe enough to talk about trauma. And that's why we have a lot of kids going outside the home telling their business, because they can't go home and talk about it.
Well, for one, because they're trying to find anybody to actually help in their situation. And then secondly, I feel like when a kid comes to a parent with anything, it's because they're searching for help in a situation. And when the parents don't help in said situations, it breaks trust, right? So now I don't trust this person, because parents' job is to protect their children. If I come to with something because I need help, because I can't handle it on my own, because kids, they don't like coming to their parents anyway with certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I come to you, I've exhausted all my resources, you're my last line of defense, I'm coming to you, and if you fumble this, now I have no trust in the person that was here to protect me. Now I don't have no trust in nobody no more, right?
Yeah.
Or I go searching the world for trust, and I can easily be misled by the wrong person because I'm so thirsty for this trust dynamic.
Yes. Trust and mistrust is developed in child stages. So the child development stages, you can see a whole play out as to how children start developing trust, what age frame they start to develop trust. But the thing is, my biggest thing is for us as people to start learning these things. Of course, it's going to take therapists that are Black to get us involved in this as well, because we do things differently. The way we look at life is differently because a lot of things that we have gone through. But the information is there. We just have to search for it. And what I mean by that is having ethically and basically look like us instead of it looking like a textbook that was written by a Caucasian man, which is
by Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, that's what most of the stuff that we're dealing with is coming from. I do like to highlight too, in every space that I get into, when people do start searching for a therapist or a mental health professional of some sort, a counselor, be mindful that diagnoses, if you're diagnosed with, anxiety, or you're diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, as long as it's not a higher level of mental health like schizophrenia or schizoaffective, you can work yourself out of your diagnosis. And a lot of people tend to run away from mental health because they believe that once they get a diagnosis, that's stuck with them forever.
Right.
Not necessarily. If you really do the work and you do the coping skills and you understand that life is a journey, you will always be triggered by something. It's just how you manage it. Then you can work yourself out of a diagnosis. But these therapists that don't look like us will tell you that because that keeps you coming to them.
Exactly. I was about to say because if they cure you, then it's hurting their money because they get paid by the session. So a lot of them will all prescribe you medication as well for things you don't need medication for, because they know these medications create depression as well. So now you go in there just having certain issues with certain things, but then they'll tap into what you're going through, then give you medication for it, which makes you more depressed, now you're more in your head, and it'll drive you into a deeper depression, which you really need them now because you can't dig yourself out of depression. Wondering why you feel this way, but it's really, like I said, you undug some skeletons out of your own closet, and this medicine you're taking is making them skeletons come to life.
Yes, and some people, but I will say too, some people do need them to get them going. But I say don't stay on them for the rest of your life if you're actively doing the work, and don't ask for a high dosage. Ask for the bare minimum if you need them to just pull yourself out. Or you can also look for alternative medicine, like valerian root is really great for people who are struggling with anxiety, who are coping with bipolar disorder, or just unable to manage their anger. You can sip on some valerian root or some chamomile and you'll be good to go. You'll be calm. It's the same effect as you smoking weed of an indica. It's the same thing. It's just more relaxing, and it's an herbal tea. So there's things out there. You can smoke herbal teas too, blends. I started making herbal blends that were very helpful for not only myself, but people I know around me. So there's things out there that we can personally do, but it's just the first step is the most hardest step, which is telling your story. And then as far as with kids, play therapy is really great with kids. We can do that ourselves at home. You can get the information online on how to do play therapy with kids. And that's using toys and objects and coloring and just having a conversation with kids while they're doing these activities. They don't even realize that they start talking. They start talking so much, actually, while they're doing these activities. But you're also building trust and building a relationship with their child at the same time. That works with teenagers too. They do. Don't be fooled by a teenager. Don't do some sipping tea or sipping soda or whatever.
Right.
It works the same.
Right. They definitely be needing that too. And what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna have you on just for a whole show, because like I said, you're hitting on a lot of good topics that's really a whole show worthy of stuff that you're hitting on right now, right? So I'm gonna end up contacting you. We're gonna do a whole show together, because at the end of the day, like I said, the things you're hitting on, I can keep going on and on, but I know the show's coming to an end now. I know people been here for like an hour and a half already. I don't want to drag them out too much longer because they'll start losing their concentration. But at the end of the day, me and you, Sunshine, I appreciate that you came with.
No
Like
problem.
anybody who needs psychology, like I said, either you can reach out, Sunshine, but she have a couple great links, psychologytoday.com. If you're looking for a psychologist or therapist or something of that nature, which suits you personally, that you want one that looks more like you, things like that. But your Instagram, you can also go on search Express Yourself Black Man on Instagram. Am I correct on both of those?
That's true. That's correct. And also, if you want more information, I know there's ladies in here. If you guys want more information as far as where the women are at and where our groups are, feel free to connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram is linked to this page, I believe. So we can definitely connect, and I can connect y'all to some ladies out there, and vice versa, men too. I can connect them too.
Right, definitely. And like I said, as a people, man, we need this therapy, and we've been avoiding it a lot, but we do need it because, like I said, our traumas are deeper than anybody else's in this whole freaking thing we call Earth, man. And we are the leaders of this mug, so don't let we keep leading if we mentally right. So let's get our mental right, man. All right, we can't be leading from behind. You
All
get
right,
me?
thank you.
All right, thank you,
Lucky,
Sunshine.
we should go to Vegas. 2018 motor transportation. Got me feeling over anxious like a home invasion. My dough inflated.